Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here. In today's video, I'll be going over the report from ESPN that the Washington Commanders and Adam Peters are expected to be aggressive this offseason and possibly all in to maximize Jayden Daniels' rookie contract. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and that notification bell as well. All those three things help out a ton trying to hit 15K subscribers. If this video does well, I think we can do it. We're like 95 away, so I know we can do it. Go ahead and comment down below the player you want the Washington Commanders to acquire this offseason the most. Obviously, there might be a few different guys you want, like I do, but comment below which guy you want the most. For me, it's probably like Myles Garrett or Max Crosby. But let's go over this report from Dan Graziano. We're getting to Super Bowl, or we are at Super Bowl weekend. Tomorrow's a big day, big game. Hopefully, you guys have good plans for that. Let's go, go Chiefs for sure. But it's starting the rumors and stuff. The off season's starting, and things are gonna start to develop a lot. Very quickly soon with the combine coming up, and that's when all the GMs and everyone's coming together, and trade talks are gonna start. So we're gonna hear more and more rumors. But let's start with this one. So Commanders are expected to be aggressive in the offseason and pursuing defensive upgrades per Dan Graziano from ESPN. It's pretty reliable. He said Washington is more likely to get aggressive for someone like Myles Garrett as they want to maximize Jayden Daniels' rookie contract window. He also in the article said, it's going to be hard for them, or he thinks that teams are going to go ahead and offer, and it's going to take, true premium picks. He said, could be 2 firsts or like a first and a second and maybe a player, something like that. That's what it's looking like right now. But he said that teams think that the Browns are just going to decline any offer. So I think that's probably going to be the case in the beginning. But if Garrett really wants to, I think he can get his way out of Cleveland. And, it just depends on how stubborn he wants to be and how long he wants to drag it out. Because, of course, it always gets to a certain point where it's just too much drama for the team, especially when you're rebuilding. Or at least, I don't know, that's what it looks like on the outside looking in, that they're rebuilding. Maybe they don't think so internally, but I would say that, they're probably they should be looking to rebuild. And they got the number 2 pick. They have, assets. They have Myles Garrett that they can trade to get even more assets. So I think that's something that they definitely should do. If I'm the Commanders, I 100% would trade for Myles Garrett. I mean, he's the best player in the defensive player in the league, if not best, top 3, top 5 for sure. And adding him to this defense would help out a ton and would make everyone better. I mean, it would make the run defense better, would make the pass rush better, and then it would make everyone on the D-line better because all the attention is going to be on Myles Garrett. Would make the cornerbacks better because, there's going to be less time for the quarterback to throw. So, and he might have to be, he might be forced to throw some bad passes that gets, Lattimore, Sanders still, maybe no Igbenogany if he comes back, maybe St. Juice, but I doubt it. Get those guys interceptions. So he would make everyone better, and I know it is a big investment, but let's say, you were going to draft a guy in the first round at edge anyways with one of the picks you give up for Garrett, right? So, and I'm just saying hypothetically, obviously they could go line, they could go receiver, they could go, I don't know, running back maybe, if one of the guys like Genty falls, which I don't think he will. But you're already, so, you give up that first round pick, you're getting an elite player, you're getting Myles Garrett right away, and he's going to be better, honestly, than anything that first rounder is going to be. I mean, it's very, very hard for that first rounder to be anything close to Myles Garrett, and that's not a diss on whoever that first round pick ends up being. It's just the reality situation with Myles Garrett. Probably gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer, definitely a Hall of Famer if he continues, the trajectory he is going on. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer. And it's a premium position, so that kind of cancels out, and then you're really giving up another whatever second round pick and then a player. So it is a lot to give up, and the biggest thing is you're gonna have to pay him a lot of money. But I think it would be worth it. That's just me. I know some people think differently, but I believe it would be worth it. It's probably gonna cost, so I would say 2 first round picks. So you are giving up a lot of your future, and you're going to have to find other ways to fill those roster needs. But with a guy like Jayden Daniels, you have him on a rookie deal, which is already an advantage in terms of money you're spending. But then also, when you have an elite quarterback, sometimes players, especially offensive guys, but sometimes defensive guys, tend to come for a little bit of a discount. And when teams are good, that's the same thing. So just watch out for that as well, where the Commanders might be able to get some good deals to fill out the roster for sure. Some other stuff. This is from Jeremy Fowler. He said Commanders are one of the teams that are expected to show interest in Cooper Kupp. Kupp, who is 31, is said to be the type of first one in, last one out worker who resonates with a new team. And according to the reports, and this is what I thought from the beginning, is it's going to be a day 3 pick for Cooper Kupp. Probably like a 5th round pick, maybe a 4th round pick at most, just because of his age, his injury history, how much the contract is. I believe the Rams would have to, or will likely pay some of that contract to make it more appealing to a team, because if not, maybe no team wants to trade and they might just release him. And that's something to watch out for as well. But I think Cooper Kupp would not be a bad option. Does that mean you're done at receiver? No. But you add Cooper Kupp, that's a good veteran that if he's healthy, which is a big if, he'll get you around 1,000 yards. I believe so. But that is a big if. This past year, I think he had like 700, 800 yards, but of course, missed some games. And also when he came back, he was still a little bit injured. So that's the biggest thing with him, is injuries. He's had one really, really good year, which was the 1,800, 1,900 yard season. I think it was 1,800. It was close to breaking Calvin Johnson's record. And then he had a couple other, pretty good seasons, and then a lot of injuries, or a lot of seasons that were ended by injuries. So Cooper Kupp is definitely an option for the Commanders. I say you can trade for him. You don't have to give up much. Maybe you give up a 2026 pick, and then you can, you still have Luke McCaffrey. Maybe you sign another low-key veteran, or bring back one of your guys in, OZ or Jameson Crowder. Maybe you want to bring back De'Ami Brown, I don't know, and then draft a guy maybe on day 3, and that's kind of your receiving core, and you just hope that Luke McCaffrey and then maybe that early day 3 receiver, they start to develop a little bit. And then one other thing, this is just Jeremy Fowler's report here. I guess I was saying earlier it was Dan Graziano who said that the Browns might be reluctant to trade Garrett, but it was Jeremy Fowler. So you guys can see here what he said. Nothing crazy. Basically just what I said earlier in the video, but I was saying it was what Graziano said. But yeah, Graziano was just basically saying in that other report, the Commanders, they understand how good Jayden Daniels is. They understand, how valuable it is to have a rookie on a good quarterback on a rookie deal. So they're going to try to maximize that. They're going to try to, be aggressive in getting a guy like Myles Garrett. Maybe if Max Crosby's available, they go after him. Trades that, they said in the article, they, mentioned C.J. Stroud and what the Texans did last offseason to try to kind of go all in for him. And they did at some points with, Diggs, and then, Danielle Hunter, and then Aziz or Alshir. I think that number 0 for the Texans. I'm trying to think. He was on the Titans before, I believe. But he, they signed a bunch of big, guys to big contracts. And, it, for the most part, it worked out. I mean, it was a little bit of an underwhelming season for them in the regular season. But for all the flack they got, they still won a playoff game. So they still, made some noise. And they had a lot of injuries. Stephon Diggs had the ACL. He was out for, at least the second half of the regular season. You had Tank Dell with the injuries. Just a lot of different injuries. And that put them in a bad situation. And yeah, we'll see what they do this year, but I don't think that the Commanders should, stay away from going all in. Does it mean they have to be super aggressive? No, but I would say try to, add some pieces here and guys that will stay in the long haul. And you saw on the trade deadline, they traded for Marshawn Lattimore, and so far it hasn't worked out maybe the way they thought, but it's still very early. But it shows, Adam Peters can be aggressive if he really likes a player and he thinks that they can really add to this team. So that is it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a video. Let's try to get to 15K. Peace.